heard this shout, "I've got him. I've got him, Dad, I've got him." And immediately I knew there was a problem. I just knew it.
And he come running up and decked me out of the way, and I cried and took off because I thought I'd done a great thing. He thought I did a stupid thing.
And it was the only time I'd ever hit him. And I struck him fairly hard. And he tumbled down the hill and dropped the snake. It was one of those times in your life when you feel everything has gone wrong. Everything you have taught him is wasted. It's all going to end. And it was, you know, that kid never cried. He never got upset. He knew he'd made a mistake, and he told me he was sorry. And by the time we got home, I said to him, "Steve, don't tell your mum." And he said, "No, I won't tell Mum." And he never did.
My mum and dad were childhood sweethearts. They actually knew each other when they were in their early teens, maybe even earlier, for a long time, and they got married when they were incredibly young.
Lynn and I were married for over 40 years, and we raised the 3 kids together. She was a wonderful person. When Lynn had her accident, I wasn't coping very well, and neither was Steve coping very well either.
She'd had a car accident in February of 2000, and by April of 2000, when I met him, he was really doing it tough. He was very devastated.
I haven't told too many people this story, but I think it's important. I decided one day that enough was enough. And I couldn't see a future. And I guess I didn't want a future without Lynn. Because I always thought that people that committed suicide or things like that were, how could you ever get to feel that low that you could do that to yourself? But when you've been in that position and you have those thoughts, then you can understand how it can happen. So I loaded up my truck and I was heading out to a special spot that Lynn and I and Steve had visited on many occasions. And I made one mistake. I didn't take the phone out of my truck. And the phone rang and it was Steve. He said, "I know what you're going to do." And I didn't really have an answer for that. And then he said, "Well, wait there and I'll come with you, because we both might as well go." And I said, "You can't do that," because he had been at that stage. And he said, "Well, if you're going to do it, then I'm coming." I just felt at the time I just couldn't let him do it, and he knew that. We were so close that we both knew what the other person was thinking a lot of the time. In the end, I couldn't let him do it. So I had to come back here. That's probably one of the hardest things I've ever done.
He was very devastated. I've never seen a person so low in my entire life as those first, well, maybe even 12 months, certainly the first 6 months after Lynn died. He was a broken-hearted man.
Which one are you? Judy, along with many other people, including Steve, of course, helped me to get through that, which is a very trying time. And over a long period of time, Judy did more for me than anybody could imagine.
There was no romance or anything. It was just like a friendship. That's all that was. And I could see that this man needed a friend, needed a help, needed an interest. And through the animals that came to him, and then he brought them down to me, I guess the romance started sort of after, I don't know, 12 months, 18 months or so after I met him.
And if I hadn't found Judy, well, it's hard to say, really, but I probably would have given it all away. I think it would have been too difficult.
Terry and I got married in '92, so yeah, we took over the helm, and we just kept building on it. You know, there's a lot of money generated off the crocodile hunter. A heck of a lot. Millions of dollars. It's a lot of money in anyone's terms. Money that you'd never be able to achieve with a wildlife sanctuary. So it means the zoo actually was able to grow.
Lynn and I gave Steve and Terry 50% of the zoo, and they were to run it, which they did very successfully. When Lynn passed away, I wanted Steve and Terry to have it all. So I gave the zoo to Steve and Terry.
You know, I've lost my mum, got my dad, ahead of his time, you know, just so far out in front of anyone else with wildlife in the world, who, you know, who actually I hero worshipped.
Some of the things Steve used to say to the media, oh gosh, I was embarrassed.
Here he is. Come on, big boy. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on.
But it's rather ironic
Come on, big fella.
in that
Come on.
I, as a teacher,
Come on, big boy. Come on, mate. Come on. Come on.
towards the
Come
end,
on, boy. Come on.
actually became the pupil.
Take him.
And the methods that I'd worked out for catching crocodiles and keeping crocodiles, Steve not only mastered them, but he improved them. We had the best crocodile research team, capture team in the world. And gosh, I was proud of that. So I didn't mind being the student. It's strange how it works out.